Isn't it amazing how our bodies work? I mean, one second you're calm, the next you're terrified and your body is ready to go. Or how light, just photons, becomes everything you see. Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the secret language our cells are using to make all of that happen. You know that feeling, right? When you get spooked, your heart just starts pounding. That jolt, that feeling of being totally alert, it happens in an instant. So what's actually going on inside us to kick off such a massive physical response? It's not magic, even though it really feels like it. It's actually this incredibly elegant communication system. It's all about a message from the outside world getting delivered, translated, and then acted on by trillions of your cells, basically all at the same time. Wild, right? Okay, so let's start with a classic example, that whole fight or flight thing. It all kicks off with one powerful little messenger that basically tells your entire body to get ready for action and fast. And here's the key thing, the really crucial part. That messenger, it's a hormone you've definitely heard of, epinephrine. You probably know it as adrenaline. So it's zipping through your bloodstream, and it's like an urgent letter arriving at your cell's front door. But, and this is a big but, it can't get in. The door is locked. So, how on earth does it get that critical message inside? Well, to handle this, the cell has this really cool, specialized mailroom right there on its surface. And this is where the real story, the story of signal transduction, gets started. So that epinephrine molecule finds a specific protein on the cell surface called a receptor. It fits perfectly, just like a key in a lock. The moment it docks, bam, the receptor protein actually changes its shape, and that little twist is felt on the inside of the cell. It's like it just flipped the first switch to start a massive chain reaction. And what is that switch? It's this amazing little molecule called a G protein. It's just hanging out right under the surface of the cell, just waiting. And when that receptor changes shape, it's like it gives the G protein a little nudge, basically saying, hey, wake up, time to go. Okay, so how does this molecular switch actually work? Well, it gets its juice from a tiny energy packet called GTP. When GTP latches on, it basically forces the G protein's moving parts into the on position. Think of it like a loaded spring, just full of energy. And in this on state, the G protein can break away from the receptor and carry that message to the next player in the game. Now, the G protein isn't the one doing the final job. It's more like a middle manager. Its job is to find another protein, an enzyme, and turn it on. This enzyme then turns into a full-blown factory, just pumping out thousands and thousands of these tiny little second messenger molecules called CAMP. And these are the guys that really spread the message throughout the cell. It's like wildfire. And this is where things get absolutely insane. See, the cell doesn't just pass along the message. It puts it on a megaphone. It screams it. This whole process is called amplification, and it's the reason that fight or flight response is so ridiculously fast and powerful. Just how powerful are we talking? Get this. 1. A single molecule of adrenaline hitting the outside of the cell can lead to the release of 100,000 molecules of fuel on the inside. That's just staggering. And you can see how it works right here. It's a cascade. Every single step multiplies the signal. So one receptor turns out a bunch of G proteins. Each of those turns on an enzyme that makes thousands of messengers. And those messengers activate even more enzymes. You see where this is going? It just snowballs until, boom, you get this huge response. Your cells are suddenly flooded with glucose, the exact fuel you need to either fight or get out of there. Okay, but a system this powerful, well, it needs a really good set of brakes, right? I mean, you can't have your heart racing forever. So being able to turn the signal off is every bit as critical as turning it on in the first place. And the cell has a couple of clever ways to hit those brakes. First off, that G protein, it's got a built-in timer. After a little while, it just switches itself off. Simple as that. But for a more long-term solution, the cell uses something called desensitization, where it literally stops the receptor from sending any more messages, even if there's still adrenaline floating around. And here's how that works. This other protein, aptly named beta-arrestin, comes in and literally arrests the receptor. It grabs onto it, blocks it from talking to any more G proteins, and then yanks the whole thing inside the cell. It's like putting it in timeout. The mail slot is officially closed for business. So what happens if that off switch breaks? Well, the results can be absolutely devastating. Take the toxin from cholera bacteria. It messes with the G protein and jams it permanently in the on position. So now you've got nonstop production of those messenger molecules in your intestinal cells, which makes them pump out tons and tons of water. It's a really stark reminder of just how critical it is to be able to stop the signal. Okay, so we've been looking at all this amazing stuff in the context of fear and adrenaline. But now we get to what I think is the most elegant part of this whole story. You see, biology is super efficient. It doesn't like to build things from scratch. It finds a great tool, and then it reuses it for all sorts of different jobs. So let's just quickly recap the adrenaline response. We've got a receptor that catches the signal, a G protein that acts as a switch, and this whole cascade that gets the body ready for action. Got it? Okay, hold that thought. All right, now look at this. This is the system in your eye, the one that lets you see. And at first glance, it looks totally different. But guess what? It's using the exact same toolkit. A little particle of light, a photon, hits a receptor in your eye. That's our new adrenaline. And what happens next? You guessed it. The receptor activates a G protein. The G protein activates an enzyme. You get a chain reaction that sends a signal to your brain. It's the same logic, the same core machinery, just repurposed from creating fear to creating sight. How cool is that? So this is basically the universal language our cells speak. It doesn't matter if the signal is a hormone like adrenaline, a particle of light, or even the molecules that let you smell coffee. The playbook is the same. You need a specific receptor to catch the message, a G protein to act as the on-off switch, a cascade to make the message louder, and a way to shut it all down again. So think about this. The next time your heart pounds or you see something beautiful or smell something delicious, just take a second to remember this incredibly complex conversation happening inside you. This isn't just about life. This is life. It's your body translating the outside world into what it feels like to be you. Which leaves a pretty cool question, doesn't it? What are your cells talking about right now?